Some storms don't come with warning. One moment, the sky looks manageable. The next, everything is shaking. We all know what that feels like. A phone call, a diagnosis, a loss, a moment when calm suddenly turns into chaos. Tonight, I want to tell you a story about a storm like that. Not just a storm on the water, but the kind that rises inside us. This is the story of Jesus calming the storm, and why it still matters when life feels overwhelming. It had been a long day. Jesus had spent hours teaching, not in comfortable rooms, but outdoors, by the sea. Crowds pressed in close, hanging on every word. Questions, stories, parables, people needing hope, healing, and answers. By evening, the air felt heavy. The sun began to sink, stretching gold across the water of the Sea of Galilee. Jesus turns to his disciples and says something simple. Let's go across to the other side. No speech, no explanation. Just let's go. So they climb into a boat. Not a large ship, just a working fishing boat, wooden, low to the water. The kind that feels safe, until it doesn't. Jesus, exhausted from the day, lies down in the back of the boat. His head rests on a cushion, and almost immediately, he falls asleep. The water is calm, the breeze gentle. The disciples relax, at least for a moment, and then it happens. Without warning, the wind shifts. The sky darkens. Waves begin to rise, fast, violent, relentless. This isn't just a drizzle or rough water. This is a furious storm. Water crashes over the sides of the boat. The wood creaks. The boat begins to fill. These disciples aren't strangers to the sea. Some of them grew up on this water. They know storms. And that's what makes this terrifying. This isn't inconvenient. This is dangerous. They scramble, grabbing ropes, pulling sails, shouting over the wind. Every wave feels heavier than the last. Every second feels closer to disaster. And through all of it, Jesus is still asleep. That detail matters. Not pretending, not resting lightly, sleeping. Meanwhile, the disciples are panicking. Fear has a way of doing that. It gets loud. It narrows your thinking. It makes you forget everything except the danger in front of you. Finally, they rush to him. They shake him awake. And their words spill out, not polished, not filtered. Teacher, don't you care that we're about to drown? That's not theology. That's honesty. Jesus opens his eyes. He takes in the scene, the water, the wind, the fear on their faces. Then he stands. No panic, no rush. He looks at the storm and speaks. Quiet, be still. Not shouted, not dramatic, just spoken with authority. And immediately, the wind dies down, the waves flatten. The sea goes still, the kind of stillness that feels unreal. The kind that makes you realize how loud things were just moments ago. Silence settles over the boat. Then Jesus turns to the disciples and asks two questions. Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? He's not shaming them. He's revealing something. The disciples don't answer. They just stare at him, stunned. And one of them finally whispers what they're all thinking. Who is this, that even the wind and the waves obey him? The storm outside is gone, but inside them, everything has changed. It's easy to hear this story and think the lesson is simple. If Jesus is with you, storms disappear. But that's not actually what happened. The storm didn't stop because Jesus was in the boat. The storm stopped when Jesus spoke. And before that, he allowed them to go through it. Sometimes faith doesn't mean the absence of storms. It means learning who to trust when they come. Notice this. Jesus never promised them smooth sailing. He promised to take them to the other side. and he never once panicked. The disciples were afraid not because the storm was strong, but because they thought they were alone in it. That's the real fear, isn't it? Not the wind, not the waves, but the feeling that no one sees us, that no one cares, that we're on our own. Don't you care? It's a question many of us have asked in different ways, and Jesus answers it, not with a speech, but with his presence. They come as anxiety that won't let you sleep, as uncertainty about the future, as grief that hits when everything else is quiet, as chaos you didn't plan for and can't control. And sometimes it feels like Jesus is asleep, like he's silent, distant, unbothered. But this story reminds us of something powerful. Jesus was never unaware of the storm, and he was never absent from the boat. Peace didn't come because the disciples were strong enough. It came because Jesus was already there. Faith isn't pretending the storm isn't real. Faith is choosing to trust even when it is. And sometimes the greatest miracle is not that the storm stops. It's that we don't face it alone. Maybe today you're in a storm. Maybe you're tired of bailing water, tired of holding it together, tired of pretending you're not afraid. This story invites us to be honest, to cry out when we need to wake Jesus with our questions, to bring our fear to him instead of hiding it. Because the same voice that calmed the sea still speaks peace into chaos. And even when the wind hasn't stopped yet, he is still in the boat, still present, still powerful, still trustworthy. And sometimes that's enough to carry us through the night. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this story spoke to you, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And if you'd like more Bible stories told with heart and clarity, consider subscribing. Until next time, may peace find you, even in the storm.